Hey guys, it's Alexis, aka The Soft Reader, and I'm here today to do my June TBR. Pretty short TBR this month, I think, because I think last month I got a little ambitious with my TBR, and as you'll see in my wrap-up, I didn't quite get every book I wanted to read, but I got most of them, and I'm pretty proud of that. So mostly I just have 4 books that I want to read this month, and then as usual I try to read an arc or 2 every month. I don't really have any arcs that are coming up for publication this month, so I'm just going to kind of choose some of the backlogged arcs I have and try to read 1 or 2 of those, but I haven't decided yet, so I'm not going to put them in this video. The first book I want to try to read this month is The Gunslinger, the first book in the Dark Tower series by Stephen King. As you guys have probably recently seen, this is becoming a movie with Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey, and it comes out in July, I think. So I would really like to get to this in June so that I can go see the movie when it comes out in July. Really love westerns, and I know that this is like a fantasy western, which checks all of my boxes, so I'm super excited to read this. And I've actually never read a Stephen King before, so this will actually be my first Stephen King, and I'm pretty excited for that too. The next 3 books I want to mention are actually all the first book in a series, but they all complete a book I wanted to read on my top 15 in 2015 list. The first book I'm going to mention is The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan. This is the first book in the Heroes of Olympus series, which is his series about Roman mythology. It was my goal to read both the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series as well as the Heroes of Olympus. So I completed Percy Jackson in May, spoiler alert for my May wrap-up, and I love it so much, and so I'm super excited to get to this book, and I'm actually kind of excited to get a book with different characters and, you know, new gods to learn about and new demigods and new heroes and monsters, so I'm really excited to start this one, and I've heard a lot of really great things about the Heroes of Olympus as well. So I'm super excited to get to this one and start my Heroes of Olympus journey. The next one I'm going to mention is another one that was on my top 15 to read in 2017 list, and that is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I really wanted to try and get to the entire Grisha trilogy this year. I don't know how that's going to go, but I definitely want to at least start it, which means this month I'm going to get to Shadow and Bone. I've been saying I want to read Shadow and Bone for like 3 years. And so I'm going to make it a point to get to this in June. This is the first book in the Grisha trilogy, which is basically about these people who are Grisha, who are called Grisha, who have magical powers, and like, this is my basic understanding because I haven't read it yet, obviously, but it's about them like fighting back like a darkness, like a physical darkness. And yes, I know that this is a very well-beloved series, and I'm excited to finally start it. The last book I'm going to mention is, again, another first book in a series, and also one of the series I said I wanted to get to this month, or this year, and that is Shatter Me by Tahara Mafi. So this is the first book in a dystopian series about our main character, Juliet, who has a touch that can actually kill. And so she's like locked up by the government and like used as a weapon. That's my basic understanding of this story. I've tried to kind of avoid knowing too much about it. But this is a very well beloved series as well, and Tahara Mafi has recently said that she's writing 3 more books in this series that take place after the original trilogy, which means that, like, of course I'm like, wow, better get reading. So I'm super excited to get to this one. I know a lot of people really love it, and I really love dystopians, even if everybody thinks that they're super overdone now. I still really enjoy them, so I'm excited to get to this one. Alright guys, so those were all of the things I want to read in June. Again, only really 4 physical books, and then, like I said, I have a plethora of backlogged arcs I want to get to, so I'm definitely going to try to read at least 1 or 2 of those. And I probably will pick up a couple of audiobooks here and there, but none of that is really set in stone. But I'm super excited for June. I start my new job in June, which will hopefully allow me a lot of reading time, so I'm super excited for that. But you guys should let me know down below what you're planning to read in June, and I'll see you guys soon with another video. Bye!